Alright, Battle 5. This time we're going up against, I couldn't find out who these characters are named. It's been a long time since I've seen the anime. But they have a special stealth variant of the Blade Liger and Saber Tiger. And this Saber Tiger may not look very intimidating, but trust me, it's pretty fearsome, especially with its cloaking capabilities there. So we're going to break out a very powerful Zoid for this. We're going to break out the Brass-style Tiger, which I demonstrated at the end of the campaign. The Brass-style Tiger is the rival to the Race Tiger, as I've established. It is, it has a very sleek design. It has all the weapons kind of fold into it, and they deploy on these racks from hidden compartments. It's really cool. It has the thermic laser gun, shoots up into the sky, and then homins in on the targets. And it has pretty much all the other staple weapons that the Race Tiger has, in addition to having blades. It's not nearly as tough as the Race Tiger, though, because it only has 2,700 health when the Race Tiger has 3,100. So it's not quite up to par with the Race Tiger, but it's still very powerful, and I think as far as weapons go, they're pretty much the same. So the Blade Liger is, it's got pretty high stats, but it's pretty much stock. It doesn't have attack booster or anything like that, so I'm not especially worried about that. But that Saber Tiger, especially because we have our own attack boosters, sorry, not attack boosters, our own blades. But that Saber Tiger is not going to be able to be targeted because it has cloaking. It also has a lot of armor and a lot of health for a Saber Tiger. So quite formidable, actually. Welcome to the real finale of Let's Play Zoids vs. III, ladies and gentlemen. This has been quite a fun ride, but it's finally ready to come to an end. It seems like the best method for fighting this Saber Tiger with the blades is just not trying to lock on and just sweeping past them with this thing's incredible speed. It doesn't have the best turning circle for a Zoid this small and nimble, but it's pretty maneuverable nonetheless. This thing is very expensive, if I didn't say so before. It's over 200,000 credits, much like the Liger Zero Phoenix, the Energy Liger, or the Race Tiger as well. It's definitely a top tier Zoid. Alright, moving on to Battle 6, we're going to be fighting Savage Hammer again. This time, it's not Luke, it's the other guy. I can't remember his name. Oh, it's Burton. How silly of me. And he's got the Lord Gale this time around, but instead of fighting the regular Berserk Fury, we got to fight the Berserk Fury Fuzor combined with the Buster Eagle, like I demonstrated in the last video. So to fight it, we have, a dragon to take on the dinosaur. If you put a dinosaur in the sky, what else can fight it but a dragon? So we're bringing out the Decalto Dragon, which I've talked about already about a fair bit in the campaign. It has a very good turning circle. It's kind of slow. It's very large and bulky. And it only has one weapon. There are other weapons we can buy for it, but they're just ridiculous and unnecessary, and I don't really care for them. I bought a weapon for it. I didn't really want to show it on screen because it was just plain useless. And its primary weapon are these plasma rail cannons, which are decently powerful and they home in on enemies pretty well. So right now we're just going to go ahead and take out Lord Gale. I also bought there's pretty much nothing he can do. We're just savaging him in the corner here. As soon as he gets back up, he falls back down. You really got to make sure you have enough range to get the projectiles to home in well. They're basically just balls of plasma. I also bought the flying module for the Decalto Dragon, which is something we could have used for the Race Tiger in the campaign, but it really wasn't a good idea. You can see it in the opening scene for the game when the Race Tiger and the Decalto Dragon fight. You can see it. Actually, also, this thing is a very, very good melee attack. I highly recommend the Zoid, and the airborne mobility definitely does help. I'm actually surprised that the Fuzor Berserk Fury here does not have a flying module. We actually can get... I actually think I died during one of my test runs in this fight because the Berserk Fury got some really good melee hits on me, as it often does. It's the Berserk Fury after all. But he's not going to be able to hit us very easily at all with that Buster Eagle cannon from down there, so we have the advantage. We have the high ground, so to speak. Alright. Like I said, they made something called like the Wits Tiger or something like that. Zoitek did to combat the Decalto Dragon. And I don't know how that turned out because that's in the Zoid's battle story thing. Or the saga story, or somewhere ingrained in the Fuzors lore, because I don't think Zoitek or any of that stuff has anything to do with Fuzors necessarily. They just decided to have those two things in the same era there. So now we got to go up against the Braccio Rex and the Missile Tortoise, which I explained before in the campaign, are actually Fuzors that are supposed to combine with each other, except they do not have a Zoid in this game that is the combined version. They're always separated. Well, actually, there is a very high-tier version of the Braccio Rex, so maybe that is the combined version. All I know is that it seems like they only have, in order to have two opponents, you have to have two Zoids, obviously. So they have the Missile Tortoise, or Buster Tortoise, whatever you want to call it, separate. Which is fine. I actually couldn't find an adequate Zoid I wanted to buy for this mission, so I decided to just use the Cyclops again because this is a really good map for it. We can really easily destroy the Braccio Rex. Yeah, it is the Fuzord version. I take it back completely. Yeah, it has the Missile Tortoise on its back there, which basically just adds some more weapons and health to it, making it cost significantly more than the standard one, and actually making it a pretty tough Zoid. I've actually not used it. It might have been a good Zoid to buy to demonstrate, but I guess I just never got around to it. But yeah, the standard thing really does not deserve to be this late in the tournament. This is a laughably easy fight for this late in this tournament because we're starting to get into some hard fights in here. And after we've already beaten the Berserk Fury Fuzor, these things are complete pushovers. Like they really should have adjusted the battle order in this tournament a little bit, or given us some different matchups. Or like I said, what would have been great would have been to have a like a challenge mode tournament with some, you know, crazy hard battles in it. Yeah, the grenade launcher on the Cyclops just annihilates that thing. It really stands no chance. This was pretty much a flawless run with, you know, no deaths or anything like that during the test playing, except for the other one that I mentioned before. I'd almost say the Cyclops is borderline broken because we're getting S ranks on both fights with it. I didn't want to demonstrate the same Zoid twice during this tournament, but oh well. Like I said, I had an odd number of Zoids, so I couldn't get the full 10. So now we're going up against RD and Amy, and the Liger Zero Phoenix and the Koenig Wolf Mark II. Now, if that is not a fearsome fight, I don't know what is, because those are two of my favorite Zoids in the whole game, and definitely some of the most powerful. But will they be competent in the AI's hands? I don't think so, especially because we're going to be using the only Zoid made for the task of defeating them, the Energy Liger. And here's the colors for it. The black and yellow there is the one we had in Battle Legends. There's another weapon you can buy for it and equip to it, the Ray Missile, but I'm actually not going to be equipping that because unfortunately the map they give us for this fight is the crappy corridor map where the missiles don't even have enough range to acquire their targets. When they shoot up into the sky, they just hit the ceiling or miss their mark. And it's completely not worth it. I mean, these two opponents are not hard to hit either, so we're not exactly going to need that. We're just going to use the energy cannon. Yeah, the Energy Liger, its biggest downside is it's a little bit slow, and you definitely need to buy the boosters for it. And as I've said before, this map is terrible. It cripples the AI, and they don't know what to do. They're just running into walls the whole time trying to navigate. So despite the fact we're fighting some of the best, most competent Zoids in the game, they're going to be helpless to actually do anything against us. Had this been on a different map, this would have been a much more interesting fight. This Liger Zero Phoenix is actually not the same Liger Zero Phoenix that we have. It actually is, I think, 500 credits more expensive or something like that because it's RD's version with the Phoenix colors. And unfortunately, the white color scheme for the red color I have for the Energy Liger here is stock for this version of it in Versus 3 for some reason. They changed the default colors with some of these Zoids. Mainly the top tier Fuzor Zoids for some reason. Yeah, the Koenig Wolf Mark II is, I showed it off a little bit in the garage there. It's pretty good. It has the dual sniper rifle, so it can't be any worse than the normal one. It has missiles as well. I guess I recommend it. It just has slightly different stats. It doesn't have as much health, so I really have a hard time recommending that or considering buying it over the stock version, especially because I like the white color better than that brown, that ugly brown, but it's still a Koenig Wolf, so it's still incredible. Ooh, nice finisher there from the Iron Kong. Good punch. Alright, so if you guys didn't watch the Zoids vs. 2 or Battle Legends Let's Play, you wouldn't really know much about the Energy Liger, but I remember the Energy Liger because it was the last thing I saw before Zoids Fuzors was canceled here in America. So unfortunately, I was left on an awful cliffhanger. I was like, what is that thing? It's so cool, but I'll never be able to see it because the series got canceled. But it's quite powerful. It has just two stock weapons, the Energy Cannon and the Energy Vulcan. Energy Cannon is the way to go, definitely. Alright, so Battle 9, we're up against PKB team, which is the Peacekeeping Bureau. They're actually a non-combative team in Zoids Fuzors. They're not a battle team, they're more like the unofficial police. And they kind of get in here and interfere with these Zoids battles. So I'm breaking out the old favorite, ladies and gentlemen, the Blade Liger Leon's variant with attack boosters. My favorite Zoid of all time. I still, to this day, have not gotten that red Blade Liger model kit that I've ranted and raved about. But maybe I'll get the Kotobukiya one and call it a day. Alright, so you guys know what's up already with this one. This is the, I can't remember what that, oh, the Aerosaurus and the, Gojila's Giga, that's what it is. And this map, unfortunately, and it might all have something to do with the Gojila's Giga as well, our frame rates have tanked during this this particular fight. I'm sure PBS there is another abbreviation for that team for the Japanese version that is not translated. It probably means something different than Peacekeeping Bureau, obviously, but that's the Americanized translated version is PKB for Peacekeeping Bureau. So I'm sure it means something else. And we are just barely skimming by here dodging that Eagle Cannon because we do not want to get hit by that, as I said before. The Blade Liger is not as fast as the Lightning Sykes was when we fought this in Zoids vs. 2, but we defeated this thing pretty easily in the campaign, but that was a much smaller map, so our frame rates were actually intact. But this is a tough fight. Like I said, this is a heavy bruiser, and that cannon is not to be messed with, so... But thankfully, the Blade Liger is as good as ever. The attack boosters, I'm still having a hard time getting my rhythm with the accuracy on them. I used to be much better with the attack boosters, but I guess I've gotten a little bit rusty. But we'll still be able to take this thing down. I'm not sure how our ally is doing over there with the Aerosaur, but we'll deal with that in time. It's, again, pretty frail. Obviously, that ooh, that was close. He did a little power turn there. If he fired the Eagle Cannon there, I would have been in a lot of trouble. But he left himself open there by rotating, so I was able to get a good melee in on him. Being very sparing with the blades, because as I learned in the campaign, I could easily set myself up for a very bad situation. Yeah, the Iron Kong is just tanking that damage from the Aerosaur there in that flamethrower. It's just doing nothing. We killed it accidentally by firing in the wrong direction. Alright, we're done. The blades didn't get a good on-screen demonstration, but oh well. Blade Liger, yet again, has served us well. We're getting a ton of credits for these fights, too. Not that I really need them unless you guys really want to see another fight after this. I mean, this is pretty much everything I thought to demonstrate. Alright, Battle 10. This is the real deal here, guys. This is the final battle, and boy, is it a good one. We are up against the main characters from the campaign, and the Braccio Tiger and the Race Tiger. As we knew it would be, as it should be, quite frankly, and there's only one Zoid fit for the job, and you guys know exactly which one it is. The Liger Zero Phoenix, what I think is undisputably still the best Zoid in the game. I would prefer it over the Race Tiger if I had the choice. I just think it has a better weapon. Unfortunately, we don't have that nice white color scheme like we did in Versus 2, but the blue is really cool too. Just wanted to demonstrate that really quick here. The only thing that's changed from the standard stock Liger Zero Phoenix in this one is the way the boosters work, because the boosters work like they should. They work normally, unlike in Versus 2 or Battle Legends, where they kind of had the Phoenix glide across the ground. So to have that happen in this game, you'd have to buy the flying module for, which means it's not going to be as fast. If I decide to buy RD's version, I'll give that one the flying module just for some variety, but I don't know. So I wish I could have 20 more fights like this, because this is the real deal. I want, you know, the closed battle arena, you know, 2-on-2, the best Zoids in the game. This is where it's at right here. And I've got to be on my toes to dodge these guys. I actually ended up having them attack each other there. That was a complete accident. But yeah, this is just going to be quick reflexes, crackerjack timing, and one of the best weapons in the game, the Phoenix Cannon. And this really is going to demonstrate just how much that sharp turn dodge maneuver helps in Versus 3, because I've used it so much. Alright, the Race Tiger is down now for the Braccio Tiger. And it looks like the Race Tiger is actually a special version. It's the Aero special version or whatever that is colored red. And I'd be curious as to how that's unlocked. If anybody knows, just please let me know, because I'd love to unlock that version too, even though we've played with the stock version enough in the campaign as it is. Alright, so we won. That was a brief demonstration of the Liger Zero Phoenix. Like I said, it's still as powerful as ever, and still costs, over 220,000 credits, I think, making it just as expensive as the Race Tiger. Alright, so that is it for Let's Play Zoids vs. 3. Like I said, I want to just share my appreciation for every single person that liked and commented and just watched the video. I appreciate your guys' feedback. I appreciate fellow Zoids fans out there. I wanted to thank the Zoids Wiki for all the information on Zoids Fuzors that I needed to get for this Let's Play, and some of the untranslated names for some of the new Zoids that I didn't get a chance to learn on my own because of the lack of translation. And there will be more Zoids to come in the future. If you guys want to see more, just hang in there. I will have more Zoids Infinity Fuzors. I'm working on test playing Zoids Assault. And if I can get an import Xbox 360, I'll do Zoids Infinity EX Neo. And we will see how that goes next time.